to being illegal to drive a car with flip-flops, or no belly dancing, or no whaling in a landlocked state. These are another 60 weird laws I found in various countries, especially in the United States. Firstly, let's talk about countries around the world. In Denmark, if a person finds a lost child, they can claim the child as their own if a parent doesn't show up within 2 hours. That is a crazy law to begin with. Legally, in England, a boy is not allowed to see a naked mannequin until the age of 10. Shop owners better be careful with this one.
Okay.
In Switzerland, it is illegal to wash your car on Sunday. It is not an eco-friendly effort, but rather a law to fight against the noise pollution. They really like the quiet. Cause, also in Switzerland, you are not allowed to flush your toilet after 10 p.m. in public places, like a hotel for instance. This is by far the most weird one, and it's in Florida, USA. It is illegal to pass wind in a public place after 6 p.m. on Thursdays. This is because a lawmaker was clearly disgruntled by a gentleman passing gas in their vicinity after 6 p.m. on a Thursday, and they just wrote a law about it. Guys, be careful if you go to Florida. People in Scotland are so polite that there is a law that you must let anyone use your toilet if they ask, and it's a law. In Arizona, USA, cutting a cactus can earn you 25 years in prison. Bros are gonna ask you, what did you do? How did you end up here? Nah bro, I cut a cactus. In Thailand, you are not allowed to drive a car shirtless no matter the weather, or you risk paying $100 in fines. When you're driving in Spain, you must keep a spare pair of glasses in your vehicles at all times. And this is for the people that wear glasses while driving. This is me. And you risk a fine of $200 if you don't have them. So better watch out. Also, in Spain, you can be fined for driving while wearing flip-flops. It could range from 80 to 200 euros depending on the severity of what you did. In Manila, Philippines, if your license plate ends with 1 or 2, you are not allowed to drive on the road on Mondays. Crazy, right? But the fine isn't that much, it's just like $50, but that's a lot for the Philippines. I believe this law was made because they want to reduce the pollution of the world and also the traffic jams in Philippines. They're crazy. Kenya and the UAE have strict rules when it comes to offensive gestures and swearing. It is considered illegal to use swear words or make insulting/rude gestures in public. If you do that on social media, you risk a fine of $100,000. And yes, this is true, this is a recent law made by the UAE. 50 kilograms of potatoes. That is the maximum permitted quantity of potatoes one can possess in West Australia at a time. Anything over 50 kilograms is considered illegal, and this could earn you a fine of $2,000 on first offense and $5,000 on the second one. It is illegal for men to belly dance in Egypt. 2 popular singers were fined around $200 for doing that. And it is for religious purposes. I'll call it like that because in Iran, public displays of affection between man and woman, such as hugging, are generally not accepted, especially for unmarried couples. Cristiano Ronaldo, yes, the footballer, earned himself a fine of 99 lashes for doing that. That is that much in dollars. And Blood is gonna sell his mansion because of that. On trains in France, kissing is prohibited but allowed on railway stations only if it is done before the train arrives. If you break it, $100 fine. And this law is from 1910, by the way. And they call it the country of love. It isn't just in China, but Kerala, an Indian state, has enforced a law to control the population growth. A 2-child policy which grants couples the freedom to have a 3rd child, but with a fine of 10,000 Indian rupees, that is equal to $120. Weddings and funeral services must never be disturbed in Australia. Doing so wouldn't just mean that the person will be banned from all social events, but could also invite a $10,000 fine or even a 2-year-long prison time. Finding the information for these videos takes a lot of time, so if you could subscribe, that would mean a lot. More similar videos are on the way. Wearing Buddha tattoos in Sri Lanka is illegal. It is considered a serious offense, and the British woman had to pay $5,382 as a fine for that. Pregnant women in Madagascar are prohibited from wearing hats for some reason. In Japan, splashing over pedestrians is a fine, as discourtesy is taken seriously and may affect how people drive. This should be global, not gonna lie. Now, I'll specifically talk about the USA because it has so many weird laws. Get ready for it. In Washington, USA, motorists with criminal intentions that are driving through the city limits of Washington must call the police chief before entering the city. They really think that will work. A game of bingo cannot last more than 5 hours in the USA. If you play it more than 5 hours, you risk life in prison. I'm joking, but that's still a law. Men from Nevada who have grown a mustache are legally prohibited from kissing women. I should go to Nevada so I have higher chances of doing that. In Alabama, confetti is illegal. Bruh, that's very rough. In Alaska, you may not spot moose from a plane and hunt them on the same day. Wow, they really thought about this one. IShowSpeed is really gonna hate this law. It is illegal to imitate animals in Miami, even if you do it just to tease someone. In Arkansas, you must pronounce Arkansas correctly or else you're gonna be sent to prison. Okay, that's another joke, but why is Arkansas spelled like that if it's written like this? I'm so confused. In Florida, you cannot sell oranges on the street close to the beach. You can stay in jail up to 30 days for doing that. In Hawaii, no billboards are allowed. Put a billboard and you risk a fine of $10,000. Well, only if it's not something related to subscribe to Christy Geography. I'll take care of that. In Idaho, you need a permit to buy onions after dark.
What?
You need a special permit from the sheriff. What? In Georgia, yeah, the state in the United States, you cannot leave on a boat for more than 30 days. You can wake up to a fine of $500. In Indiana, you are not allowed by law to throw your sofa at your neighbor. Oddly specific. Also, in Indiana, you may not attend a movie theater within 4 hours of eating garlic. In Kentucky, you cannot handle a snake in a church. You will get a fine from $50 to $100. In Missouri, shaving while driving is legal if you have a permit. Who in the right mind thought of this law? In New York, it is illegal to take a selfie with a tiger. Well, you can actually do it, but you risk a fine of $500. In Oklahoma, whaling is illegal despite it being landlocked. American moment right there. The fine is $450. In Texas, you cannot eat from your neighbor's garbage without permission. You can earn time in prison for that. And I'm not joking this time. Let's escape the USA and let's go to other countries again. Watching news channels requires a permit in many regions of Africa. For instance, in South Africa, it is legal for news companies to go to a resident's house and see if they watch the news channel with or without a permit. That's crazy. Another crazy rule in South Africa is that people can attach flamethrowers to their cars to prevent carjacking.
Okay.
In Sevilla, Spain, it is illegal to play dominoes because they make too much noise apparently. In Turkey, it is illegal to whistle at night, and this law is based on an old belief that whistling at night could summon evil spirits. In Australia, it is illegal to transport hay in the trunk of your own car, but you can take all of the hay you want in a taxi if it fits. This Pakistani should learn from that. In Egypt, you are forced to vote. If you don't vote, $28 will have to go away from your pocket. In Jasper Gates, Canada, a dumb law says that drivers cannot go faster than a horse. In Austria, you can be fined or booted off a train if you are eating something considered too smelly. In Germany, you can be fined 600 euro if you address a policeman with du instead of sie.
Okay.
In Finland, you will have to pay a fine based on your income when violating a traffic rule. Also in Finland, there is a candy tax on products containing sugar. And last but not least, it is against the law for citizens of Monaco to play in the Monte Carlo casino, despite it being in Monaco. Thanks for watching. You can check the first part of this series and what if Europe didn't exist. A pretty interesting video, I recommend checking it out. Thanks for watching.